Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
Derek, have you seen Gary?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's right. He said he wasn't going to be in today. That's right. Hey, this is Ed Bonderenka covering for Gary. And this is the Drift Radio Show. And welcome to it. And what we do on the Drift Radio Show is we cover the news. It's on thedailydrift.com. And you should go there. It's the news you need to know. I got that right this time. So it's at thedailydrift.com. I handled that already. And so, like I said, welcome to the show. You can email Gary at The Daily Drift. You can listen to us if you miss us. You can listen again on Spreaker, SoundCloud, Talk America Radio, U.S. And now we are broadcasting in the South on 3 terrestrial stations down there. WDTQ, Talk 92.1 of Valdosta, Georgia. WJHC Talk 107.5 in Jasper, Florida, and WLBB News Talk 1330 FM 106.3 in Carrollton, Georgia on Sunday nights. And so it's nice to be talking to you guys, even though it's slightly tape delayed and we're not really using tape either. But it's nice to be there. So right now I've got a guest in house, Al. Al has come to visit and talk for a bit. And it sounds suspiciously like Al Gore, but it's really a friend of mine, Al Wassel, from work. We worked together about 25 years ago, right, Al?
Right, at Willow Run Assembly.
Yeah, yep. Al's called in a few times. You may recognize his voice. We were kidding before how we should do an interview with him as Al Gore, but I've decided to pass on that. So it was kind of interesting finding out that, well, let's put it this way. I was on Theron's Facebook page one day, and there were a number of comments, and I made a comment. And down the list of comments is a comment by a guy named Alex Wassel. And I thought, well, that's interesting. How many Alex Wassels can there be in the world? But the Alex Wassel I knew was a very liberal person. We used to get into quite a lot of discussions at work together. And I was quite surprised, and I contacted Alex. And what was your reaction, Al?
Well, it was nice to talk to you again. Working at Willow Run Assembly, I always thought you were a pretty sharp guy on the equipment. And but yeah, we basically came from different ends of the spectrum. But I'll tell you what, there's hope for people out there because I came to realize by listening to Theron, among other people, that there's a valid viewpoint from the right. You enunciated very well. And there's a logic to the arguments that can't be neglected or ignored. Unlike the left, that seems to just scream and holler and try to shut down free speech. I think you guys promote free speech.
Yeah, well, thanks. Nice ringing endorsement. So, yeah, that's actually a website blog I go to, neoneocon.com. And she's all about changers there, people who have changed their political belief, she herself being one. I mean, I was very liberal when I was a kid, and what was it Churchill said? If you're very young and liberal and conservative, you don't have a heart. And if you get older and you're liberal, you don't have a brain, something like that. I got to memorize that quote someday. So before we go much further, I want to talk about an advertiser in the Current newspaper, one of our new advertisers who's been there before, Specialty Growers. You can see them at specialtygrowers.net. They're located about 10 acres midway between Brighton and Howell in Livingston County. The pastoral setting serves as both the home and business of the owners, and during open houses, gardeners are welcome to shop the entire Specialty Growers stock while they enjoy the country atmosphere and admire the spectacular floral displays. Their staff is on hand to assist with a selection of plants and to answer gardening questions. And believe it or not, it's getting close to gardening time, right? I mean, it hit 55 yesterday. I got stuff popping up in my front yard. I wasn't sure it was going to come back. So Specialty Growers offers open houses and a delightful way to shop and get acquainted with other garden enthusiasts. And the spring open house is May 26, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At 1 p.m., Julia Hoffey will give a presentation on Julia's favorite 50. I encourage you to go there. It's like I said, halfway between Brighton and Howell, well within our listening audience, and worth the drive. See what they've got. So, what are we going to talk about today, Al? You got any idea? I mean, Gary didn't show up, so I'm kind of lost here.
Well, I happen to have a cheat sheet. And,
okay.
One of the first things on the cheat sheet is about Mitch McConnell trying to prevent a Senate Republican. It's actually what it is one of those bipartisan legislations.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Bipartisan. I love that
Yeah,
word.
that's supposed to try to protect.
That means liberal.
Yeah. Well, Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
Well, they're trying to protect Mueller from being fired, and rightfully he should be fired. But Mitch McConnell is trying to scuttle the legislation, so that would protect Mueller and all his nefarious dealings.
Isn't that confusing now? Now, so Mitch McConnell is trying to stop legislation that would protect Mueller. And so I was looking into this, and it seems like the reason that Mueller needs protection, according to these guys, these swamp rats, is because they see him as a civil servant now. And he should get the same due protection that civil servants have. After all, he left his day job to come and do this. All these Clinton supporters that he has working for him, all these Clintonista lawyers that he has trying to investigate Trump. All these guys, they have families to feed, and they took a big leap to come and pile on Trump. So they should have some kind of protection from some kind of spurious firing by Trump. So what is it? They were looking to get protection so that only Rosenstein could fire them and not Trump?
Well, actually, Trump is Rosenstein's boss.
It's amazing that way, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Hard to tell.
But actually, Mueller's simply hired help, and if he doesn't perform and produce in a effective and fair manner,
timely,
yes, he should be gone. Yeah. We shouldn't be having this discussion now. He should have been gone 6 months ago.
Yeah, amen. Hey, if you have a comment, any special insight, any questions, feel free to call in 734-822-1600. Derek will be happy to take your call and patch it through to us. I will eventually see it on the board, and if you're Joe from Wyandotte, I'll try not to hang up on you instead of answering the call. Maybe we'll just leave that to Derek, delegate Derek to answer any calls that come in. So let's see the board light up. So, that's the whole Mueller investigation. I mean, we've talked about that for quite some time, but, hey, they're still doing it, right? Like, what the heck? So now what? The Democrats feel Mueller's not doing the job well enough, so now they want to sue the Republican Party, sue the Trump campaign, I should say. Is that right?
Yes, that's the new scenario. They're going to sue us. I guess they're going to sue every Trump voter out there too, because let's face it, the Russian collusion scenario is long gone, and they're just trying to keep it in the news and trying to kick this story down the road. But this story is dead on arrival, and it's dead now. And I don't care what lawsuits they bring against whoever in the Trump administration. It's going nowhere. There's no basis for it, but they are getting some media time.
Well, to my knowledge, what they're trying to do is collect damages because they're blaming WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is a co-defendant in this. It's a civil trial, so it's not a criminal trial. So there's this thing about preponderance of evidence in a civil trial. If you remember, what's his face, the O.J. trial. Right. The civil suit against O.J. was such that he could be found guilty easier in the civil suit than in a criminal pursuit. So, because in a criminal trial, folks, in case you don't know this, you have to have what's the term again? It's there can't be any question of your
beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Thank you. Whereas in a civil trial, you can have a preponderance of evidence. So,
well, the key word here, Ed, is evidence.
There is no evidence.
There is no evidence. All there is speculation and manufactured evidence that is quite spurious and obviously has been debunked. But they're still trying to use that same old story. So we'll see how far they get with this. But I don't think they're going anywhere with it.
Well, they're suing the Trump campaign. They're suing Russia, and they're suing WikiLeaks. That's the important part. I was like, are they really going to collect from Russia? And WikiLeaks, Julian Assange is WikiLeaks. I don't even know if he has any money. You know what I mean? The guy's hiding out in an embassy, right?
Okay. Well, if they're going to sue Russia, now who are they going to sue in Russia? The Russian government? The Russian people? Any nefarious actors in Russia? Any gangsters in Russia?
Yeah. No, the security service there. Well, yeah, but which hides behind civilian organizations,
You mean like the DNC?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, like the DNC. So what the DNC is saying is that there were damages done to their servers, the ones that they would not turn over to the FBI as part of the investigation. So it's like, let's see, I get broken into in my house, and the cops say, I file a police report, and the police say, well, we'd like to investigate. You can't come in. I don't want you in my house. You guys are cops. I don't want you in my house. I don't want you to see anything here. Oh, okay. And now I go and sue the guy, the burglar, that I think broke in without letting the police investigate.
Well, how about...
Go ahead.
Well, I understand, people trying to break into your house. But didn't the Democrats invite these Pakistani operatives?
Oh, the Imran brothers?
Yeah. Didn't they give them access to their servers?
Access, yeah.
And when they tried to take it away, the brothers sort of hacked into the system and sent info to whoever.
All the data back to Dad in Pakistan, from what I just learned. Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing they're suing the wrong people here.
Yeah, I think so. They ought to be suing themselves, frankly.
That's right.
They ought to be suing Debbie Wasserman Schultz is who they ought to be suing. She's the one who basically. Go ahead.
Well, what's she doing these days anyway? I don't know. She's no longer
she's in the house still. Well, she's still in the house. She still has her seat, yes.
Oh, okay.
Such as it is.
But she doesn't have a leadership position.
Nope. She got that. She stepped down after found out that she was screwing Sanders in the campaign. Yeah.
Well, they disappeared. They disappeared her then.
Yes,
huh?
that's what Soviets do. Yes.
Indeed.
So we've got a call from Joe from Wyandotte, and I'm going to trust Derek to answer that so that I don't hang up on him. Joe?
Yeah, I'm here. How's it going?
Pretty good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So what are we going to talk about?
Looking at on the Daily Drift, which is
the news you need to know.
A look at unions in Michigan 5 years after right to work, which one of the leads is that union membership, except for the UAWs, somehow managed to keep their membership up for the most part. Membership is down, but most importantly, political spending, except for two unions, one of them, the Carpenters Union, for some reason, their spending on politics is way up, but political spending for the unions is way down, which is, not, I was going to say ironic or whatever, but that was the cause of people wanting to leave the unions in the first place. Had they stopped their wild liberal political spending and wasting union members' dues on politics rather than official, proper union activities, they wouldn't be losing membership.
Well, you make a good point there, and I want Alex to speak to some of those. Alex and I are former UAW members. Alex, much longer than I am. And Alex, are you still supportive of the union?
Well,
I had the impression you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm retired now, and I still pay retiree dues. When you say supportive, that I don't support the UAW leadership whatsoever. I think I think they sold us out.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Sold
Ed,
our plant out for that matter.
right,
yeah.
right. I'm sure Ed agrees, but no, I think there's a problem with UAW leadership's positions and what the membership really